If you want to decrease your tax liability in retirement, you should eat cauliflower. That's right, the vegetable that this woman is holding right here. I get lots of selfies of people sharing with me them posing with cauliflower. Let me tell you why. Eating cauliflower is like implementing a Roth conversion. Think about it like this. A Roth conversion doesn't make sense for everyone. A Roth conversion is great if you know in the future you're going to be in a higher tax bracket. Why would we not pay taxes at 15% today if we know in the future we're going to be in the 30% tax bracket? It would make sense to pay taxes today a little bit, avoid paying a bigger tax bill, and in the meantime, as the money grows, it's all tax-free forever. When you move that money to Roth, you never have to worry about what are known as required minimum distributions, which for most of you are going to begin at age 75. I'm going to tell you who should worry about what I just said and who should not worry about what I just said. This is going to be everything you need to know about Roth conversions. Now in my videos, I try to keep it fun. I try to keep it lighthearted, but there's a lot on the table here. We're talking about hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars that we can save clients in taxes. Because of that, I have a very fun shirt that I need to wear. Okay, everyone, this is my favorite gift I've ever received. Check it out. This is the Cauliflower Shirt. This is given to me by an amazing fan who says, Ari, I finally understand tax liability, this whole cauliflower example. Here's the premise. I'll ask my clients, would you be willing to eat a little bit of cauliflower? I know it's not the most flavorful. Now, you can beat me in the comments. If there's a better vegetable I should have picked, like Brussels sprouts, some of you told me I should have picked Brussels sprouts from the beginning. You can, let me know in the comments. But for cauliflower, would you be willing to eat a little bit of cauliflower so in the future, you're not forced to eat so much cauliflower when you want other stuff like steak and pasta and the good stuff? Because of that, that's the premise of a Roth conversion. Now, some of you are what's called conversion happy. You want these Roth conversions to fix all of your problems. And you're like, I'll just do Roth conversions in retirement. When in reality, what you should do is spend more money or retire earlier. A successful life is not defined by your Roth conversion amount. A successful life is defined by living your best life and in light of that, being smart with tax strategy. And that's what I'm going to be going through today. I just couldn't do the episode without the coolest gift ever, the cauliflower shirt. At the same time, it wouldn't be right, I have to shout out my second favorite gift of all time from someone who sent me this. It says, the anti-cookie cutter jar, love the podcast. I don't believe in cookie cutter planning. That's like when someone says, Ari, why didn't you ask me my risk tolerance? I go, okay, I'll do it right now. What's your risk tolerance? And they're like, I'm at 8. And then I'm like, what about you, spouse? And they're like, I'm a 3. I go, cool. Then 6 months later, markets go down. I go, what's your risk tolerance? They're like, I'm a 0. Markets are down. I go, you're not a 0. You were an 8 a few months ago. Me asking you if you're in pain, for example, if I were to ask you, hey, are you in pain right now? You're like, no, I'm totally fine. And then if I punched you, you'd be like, I'm in a lot of pain. What's your risk tolerance to pain now? Well, a lot harder. It hurts right now. So risk tolerance, it's okay as a question to gauge whether or not you like volatility. But look, no one likes seeing their money go up and down. It bothers some people more than others, but risk tolerance should not dictate whether you retire. Are you a 5 or a 2? One day you're an 8, one day you're a 1. That doesn't help you retire. So thank you to both of you guys who give these awesome gifts. What do you guys say we see a real case study right now, seeing when someone should eat cauliflower? If you don't know by now, my name is Ari Taublieb. I'm a certified financial planner. I'm the host of the Early Retirement Podcast, and I'm the vice president at Root. If you're seeking to optimize your tax strategy, determine how much cauliflower you should eat, that is, of course, why we do what we do, and I invite you to subscribe to the channel, in addition to reaching out if you're seeking next-level guidance. So look at this. It looks like if this person eats a certain amount of cauliflower, they're on track for $3.8 million more dollars. How cool is that? Who doesn't want $3.8 million more tax-free dollars? Not me, just kidding. Of course I do. But let's wait, take a second. Trust me, here's why. First thing, you guys have to understand the situation. This person I'm showing you is 54, and here are their assets. They have $3 million, 2.6 of it is in a 401k, and $400,000 is in a brokerage account. They have a home, they own it free and clear. So let's think about that number for a second. Let's go back to the tax tab. And by the way, if you guys want to play around with the software and see for yourself how much cauliflower you should eat, how much you can avoid paying in taxes, you want to go ahead and play around with this software, you can go do that in the academy. So they're on track, if they're smart and do good Roth conversions, to see 3.8 million more tax-free dollars. And what's happening is what you're going to see right here. This is the chart that shows how this works. So here they are making a healthy income, about $480,000 a year, very healthy income, $500,000 just about. So they're 54 today. They plan on working and then retiring. And when they retire, this green, this is what's called their tax planning window. This is where their income will be really low. So they get a choice. They can go, this is awesome. I just paid a lot in taxes my whole career. I just ate a lot of cauliflower. I'm sick of vegetables. I want no more vegetables for the rest of my life. They could do that and not pay any taxes. And then in the future, they're going to have these huge tax bills. They're going to be paying taxes like crazy. They're going to have so much money coming in, more than they'll ever need because they have Social Security. And on top of that, rental income. And on top of that, required distributions. So they're going to have more income than they'll ever need. And that gets taxed at what I call your not so fun rate. That's the highest marginal bracket. So what they want to do is go, can we be smart about this? If we were able to move some of this money and make it tax-free when our income is low, theoretically zero, well, that's pretty awesome. That's the premise of a Roth conversion. You are moving money when your income is low and you know you're going to be in a higher bracket in the future. So this is pretty cool. For perspective, watch this if the roles are reversed. So think about this for a second. 3.8 million more dollars. What if I were to go into their account just for funsies, just for fun? I'm going to switch this. Let's check this out. I'm going to switch it back, trust me. But what if I switched this and their 401k, their 401k, I'm sorry, I forget the number. Was it 1.6 they had there? I know I should remember. I just did it. No, sorry, it was just 600,000, I believe. Somewhere in that range. 400, I think it's 410. Sorry, guys. Anyways, you get the point. I think this is about right. $3 million. All I did was do roles reversed, okay? So before, 2.5 was in the 401k. Now 2.5 is brokerage. Watch what happens if we go back to this tax button here. We click on our tax strategies. We go here. OMG. What just happened? Well, if they wanted to go do the same conversions, they would actually have less money, meaning it would be better to do nothing at all. So sometimes these Roth conversions do not make sense for you. Don't make the mistake of doing this if you don't need to do this. So who is this ideal for as I, in live time, go switch this back? And you guys can, of course, do this on your end as well. Well, who should do this? If you have a big pre-tax balance and you're wondering if you should minimize your tax liability and take advantage of the window when your income will be lower. So if you're going to retire, you have this window of opportunity to implement this strategy. That's when you should consider it. Doesn't mean you should do it, and here's why. If you guys remember the number, it showed that they were going to have $3.8 million more dollars tax-free by doing Roth conversions. But no one's ever come to me and said, I'm so glad we did X amount of Roth conversions. They say, I'm so glad I spent more on travel and I enjoyed my retirement more and I retired earlier. So before it showed they're on track for 3.8 million more tax-free dollars. Look at this. Here's a couple with $3 million. Actually, they're single. They're 53. Roth conversions, by the way, are more important if you're a couple because you don't want your spouse to have to inherit it and pay taxes on those dollars. With that being said, more nuance to that. But for today's video, 53, if they keep growing, their assets might become like 15, 16 million bucks if they're aggressive investors, if they only spend $6,000 a month in retirement, if they get inheritance. But guys, what if they don't get any inheritance? That's right, zero. What if they go, RA, $6,000 a month, we're not really living our dream retirement. Can we spend $10,000 a month? And I know you want us to be aggressive, but we're uncomfortable with that. What about moderate growth? What about making those changes? What happens then? They're still okay. I mean, look at this. There's still $6 million at the end. Let's go back to the tax tab. Let's just understand what just happened. Do you guys remember what this said before? This said $3.8 million. Now it says $1.4 million more dollars. Why is that important? I do not want this person to optimize their taxes. What did I just say? I don't want them to optimize their taxes. I want them to live their best life, and in light of that, optimize their taxes. I would rather a client retire earlier or spend more money, and they're still going to need to do conversions. Look at this couple. They still need to do them. It's still going to be helpful. They need to eat cauliflower. But they were about to eat a ton of cauliflower. And now I'm asking them to eat less than 50% of that because I'd rather they spend the money on themselves or retire earlier. Now, this is based on a lot of important assumptions. This is assuming that if they were to pass away, whoever inherits this is going to be in the 40% tax bracket. What if they're not? What if they're in the 20% tax bracket, whoever inherits this? Oh my gosh, look at this. It's almost saying the Roth conversions don't really make a lot of sense. What if instead they were to only fill up the 22% bracket, not the 24% bracket? Well, look at this. Now it looks like the conversions do make sense again, but the people are still only inheriting it, the heirs, at 20%, assuming their tax bracket. Guys, this becomes complicated really quickly. So I encourage you, at first, if you don't know what to do, go play around with the tool. See what you're on track for. Don't make the following mistake. And this is called next level planning. So this is an unethical practice, but I've seen it. I have to tell it to you guys. So I saw someone come and say, all right, I think I want to work with you guys because I want the tax analysis. I said, okay. And they said, I want to work with you guys, but I can see you're going to justify the fee. Because look at this. You do Roth conversions, you add $700,000 more dollars. So I'm going to work with you. And I said, you shouldn't work with me. And they said, why? I said, this is not why you should work with me. 700,000 more tax-free dollars. This is an unethical business practice. I've seen advisors, truly, now this is me talking to you guys, firsthand tell a client, hey, you should hire me because we're going to do tax planning that's going to add value to justify the fee. So you should just hire us just for that reason. Well, we could, if I wanted to, I could tell this person, go spend $4,000 a month. Don't eat on nice restaurants, appetizers. No. Go to your college days. Go eat eggs and top ramen again. In fact, you should leave your money to that one niece that's a doctor that makes tons of money. You know why? This number will keep increasing. And so what an advisor will do, and not all of them, not many of them, but some, they'll try to justify the fee to get you as a client by showing tax strategy. I would rather show my client does not do the most efficient Roth conversions and instead lives their ideal life. So if we go back to the retirement tab here, before someone goes and eats cauliflower, we're going to dream big. How much would you love to spend? You told me 10,000. What about 12,000? You think you could spend 12? What about retiring at 58, not 60? You think you could do that? They might be like, ooh, I'm kind of uncomfortable now. I go, I know, but you're still on track for $3 million. It's not $7 million, but it's still $3 million. And let's look at what your tax strategy has to say. Well, now your tax strategy, assuming whoever inherits this, a doctor, says it's attractive, but what if they're not? What if they're in the 30% range? This is more as to what I do with clients, where I go, you're still going to need to eat cauliflower. I want you to eat a certain amount of cauliflower. Here's how it's going to change year over year. But I don't want you to just think you're hiring me just for tax guidance. You're hiring me to help you live your best life with good financial planning. And part of that includes tax planning. So guys, I know that was a lot. We went through Roth conversions in detail, cauliflower. If you're looking, once again, for a specific strategy to help out with this, that's what we do. We want to help optimize your whole retirement planning. If this was helpful, my only ask is you like this video and tell me if you like the cauliflower shirt. And if the analogy works for you, let me know. Thanks, guys.